Mic problems. Hi, welcome to today's episode of Kiefcast. Um, this impromptu sponsor is brought to you by Logitech headphones because my freaking Blue Yeti mic does not work anymore. But that's besides the point. I'm back from my more than 2 week hiatus from. Well, I wouldn't say 2 week hiatus. This is really like a bi-weekly podcast or whenever the heck I feel like putting uh, new episodes in there. But yeah, uh, decided to bring this podcast back because there's a few topics. Well, there's really only one topic I want to talk about. It's also no excuse for me to talk about VTubers again because I did so. In the past episodes, if you've seen some, well, I would say more than a few times in like my podcast because VTubers are. Not. I wouldn't say I'm quite deep in the rabbit hole, but I'm fairly familiar with quite a few characters in various VTuber agencies. One of which we're going to cover that's very much famous in a little bit. But I'm not alone, of course. I'm with my co-host Kaisuko Guru. You want to say hi to the viewers and stuff?
Hello.
Yep. So potentially we're going to get maybe hopefully because I made an announcement like a couple days ago, and also anyone else that's wants to join the stream yards. It's only catered. I mean, sorry, cater. It's only to the people that are on my Discord server. I won't be giving out the invite for safety reasons. So if you're somehow part of my community, you're liable to join these podcast discussions. Sometimes I tend to do it through the Discord chat itself. Sometimes I do it on StreamYard. So just keep that in mind. And also feel free to ask questions throughout the stream. Um, so I guess without further ado, okay, do I share? Oh, yeah, share. Without further ado, we're gonna get to our first topic, which is regarding a particular video called Russia. She is after Coco Kyrian, probably. Well, I would say was formerly like the second, or I guess was currently like the most famous VTuber out there, and at least in Hololife's roster after Coco Kyrian graduated, which now she's K-Son, she's all full independent. And I'm gonna get to like her basically her cover court's termination letter, and then get Kaizuko's thoughts on that, and then we're gonna get into a little bit of why she's pretty, she's as famous as she is, as like popular in the VTuber space as she is. So we're gonna read the letter first, and then we will watch some highlights of her a little bit, and then I will ask, I guess we'll talk a little bit about VTubers in general, and then talk about experiences of gaming. And really, this is like a chill stream, so that's kind of the whole point on that. So let me get to that right now. Share the screen. Yeah, I might as well do entire screen because seeing all the tabs here. So I have this tab here. If anyone can see on the screen, it says here by CoverCorp, which is the corporation that's kind of basically managing like Hololife's like businesses and stuff. Um, so let me check something really quick before I get to reading it. Um, so for no viewers, but that's okay. We'll generally generate that in a bit. All right. Notice regarding termination of our contract with Russia. So it says, "Thank you so much for supporting Hololive Productions on a daily basis. We would like to notify it as of February 24th, Thursday, we have terminated our virtual YouTube master agreement with Russia, who is affiliated with VTuber Group Hololive that our company manages. Regarding Russia, it has made apparent that for some time that she's been distributing false information to third parties, has been leaking information and stuff. If you've seen it through other social other medias you other outlets that you've heard of. You've probably already heard like general ideas of this rule. So more or less, they've been investigating the facts of these matters. So of the above, we were able to confirm that the acts are violating their contract by leaking information that she acquired from the company as well as over SNS, both which she has responsibility to protect and cause the company to suffer some reputable damages, such as by publishing falsehoods to various related parties. As a result, they as a company have determined that it has become difficult to team management and support her and have elected to make that decision. To all the fans and related parties, we deeply appreciate for all the support you have provided throughout the activity of her has engaged over the period of 2 years, 7 months since her debut as a third generation whole life. Deeply apologize from the bottom of their hearts, and they've ended up in a position to report this news. More or less, the TLDR is, unfortunately, Russia has given out information to like a third party. That's kind of like not necessarily like any you do that to like any company that's usually pretty bad, especially if it's like because keep in mind, Hololive is basically an idol agency, even though it's full of like virtual tubers. Um, so doing that is pretty much a big no-no on her part. And as much as I want to sympathize with her, it's like that is basically on her. But at the same time, the situation needs a bit of context. So what generally happened was, my understanding is she was streaming. She was of course streaming as VTubers would, and she got a notification of this other person that was allegedly her boyfriend, which through her own on her own ways tried to clear up that it wasn't. But by doing so, her choosing to give the information to a third party, whether or not they were close or not, is kind of like not allowed in this sort of situation. Anyways, Kaizo, do you have any comments on terms of what you saw here on this situation, if any? Hey, Jacob.
Hey, so hello.
Yeah.
Wait,
Kaizo.
what's the article we're reading?
It's just determination of one of the VTubers that's kind of caught in something, but I'm basically asking Kaizo the question first.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, my thoughts is that if you're under a contract, you strictly have to follow it no matter what. It's like an NDA for the voice acting field. Like you can't just say what role you're doing until it's time to do so, and doing so way too early could cost your job and being credited.
Yep. So, in light of that, it turns out that she had just like Keisan, who was formerly um what's her name? Coco Kyrian, which is like another VTuber that was a part of Hololive. She's now independent now. You know, there, I found Uru's other account, which indicates that she is gonna go. She's gonna at some point come back, but just not as her Rushia persona anymore. Because obviously Rushia is a part of Hololive. Like she can't just use Rushia because that's the company's like model, not her model. Just to be clear, because Whole Life is like a idol agency, and that's like another thing about VTubers. Like, okay, private chat, Mike.
no, don't read out loud. Don't.
Oh,
Don't.
okay,
I put that in the private chat for a reason.
okay. I don't even know what that. Okay, well, anyways, so and let's just put this a light topic. So we're gonna react to like some funny or moments just to give her like a bit of a tribute, and then um I guess I'll ask you guys like your thoughts on VTubers in general. I did bring this topic a few times in my past podcast episodes, and then we're just gonna get into like general gaming news, like what you guys been playing, and then a little bit of anime, and it's literally gonna be a free chat at that point. So we're just gonna do a couple like collaborations. They're only like a little bit more than 2 minutes, about 2 minutes long. So we're just gonna do that. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. It screams just made me laugh.
Who is that?
That's her.
Wait, what's her name?
That's the VTuber we're talking about. That just got fired, basically.
Oh, Ion?
No, not Iron. Ura. This one.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's much more to come.
I want to get to know her neighbors.
Right? Oh my god. You can definitely see the appeal now. Well, yeah, you get the idea. Oh my god, that's just funny stuff. Okay, yeah. What do you make of those two videos? I guess, and just get a sense of a VTuber now. So in case those who aren't familiar, but yeah, what do you guys think?
It's the ears.
Hurts the ears. Oh yeah, I wouldn't recommend wearing headphones watching those compilations. Then, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I wasn't.
Well, technically I am, but thankfully it wasn't super loud. I didn't have the volume fully high, but yeah. All right. Right. By the way, Kai's oh yeah, he's muted. Okay. Well, so we'll get to our next segment on. There you have have it here. Okay. Games I've been trying out. Also include. Okay. So, in terms of games I've been playing, I've been only playing mainly two. Been lazy about it for the past couple. Well, yesterday, but play a little game called Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not sure how much it has to do with the original Final Fantasy, but I've been enjoying quite a bit on that. Uh, I don't know. I basically got to know a lot more about Cloud Strife and that series, Sephiroth and stuff. And recently found out in my recent playthrough, I didn't stream it, but like more or less, even though Cloud doesn't want to admit it, but Cloud's a bit of a ladies' man. It's like I can see why someone would be having a hard time picking between Aerith or Tifa. Like personally, if you ask me between the two, um, I guess not calling Yuffie because I had to play the DLC for that. I guess for the time being, I'm more of a Aerith person. Like I don't know why, but I think I gravitate to her more than Tifa. I guess it kind of gives her perks that she knows healing spells. Pretty freaking attractive, and also, and all right, pretty hot, and yeah. But Tifa is not bad. I just I don't really see Tifa in that way compared to Aerith. That's just my personal opinion, of course, but that's just how I feel. Um, FW and Kinks. But yeah, besides that, I've also been playing quite a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels. As some of you may know, I was and still am quite the avid Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. I've been playing this card game since, well, I want to say since I was middle school, so I was like 2003, 4, like over 20 years at this point. And relatively recently, it got me to get to the point where I'm getting back into the collecting of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And if and ever my friend Latios NYC joins in, like he, can tell you more about his own experience on Yu-Gi-Oh if he ever shows up or whatever on this on tonight's episode. I guess I'll ask Kazuko and Jacob, what have you two been playing recently, and I guess talk about like your recent gaming experience and whether or not if it has been fun for you guys, or whatever the games that you've been checking out is worth checking out or not. And I also ask this to my audience too.
Wait, what
Whoever's
happened?
watching.
Sorry, I was doing
Oh,
something.
sorry. Basically, are there any games that you've been really enjoying recently?
Oh, Minecraft, yeah.
Oh, Minecraft. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, Minecraft, that was like playing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There was some other games. There's a new game called Enlisted. Something like that. It was just a World War II game.
Right. Sounds cool. Yeah. Guess whenever Kaiser comes back, I'll ask him that same question. But yeah, those are generally the two games I've been playing. I've been saying to myself I will save up for getting near Automata and stuff, near Replicant, because mostly because my RP sister Edna has been recommending me these games. But and also I promised her to play Final Fantasy 14 at some point and join her on some raids and stuff, which I shall do relatively soon. I just gotta find a time, really. Um, Hey guys, go. Welcome back.
Something came up, but I'm back for now.
Okay, so basically the topic is like, what games have you been enjoying recently, and whether or not the games that you've been playing are worth checking out, and anything you wanna sell to people or whatever.
Alright, so one of the games I've been playing recently have been Banjo Kazooie on Nintendo Switch Online. For those that are unaware, it's a classic 3D platformer developed by Rare and was published by Nintendo, at least before Microsoft bought the company in 2001. So it's about a bear and a bird. You go through fantastic worlds, meeting quirky characters. So your objective is to collect all sorts of jiggies, which are jigsaw puzzles, to solve actual puzzles to go to various worlds and save your sister from the witch Gruntilda, who wants to take her beauty to become the fairest one of all. As cliche as it sounds, the Banjo Kazooie franchise is very charming. Hell, even their objectively their weakest game, Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Balls, still have that classic charm that the games are known for. I would definitely recommend Banjo Kazooie whether you want to emulate it or play it on Nintendo Online, or seek out the original if you still own a function Nintendo 64, if you will.
Yeah, and those that obviously play Smash Ultimate would definitely be familiar with Banjo, at least as a fighting character. Like I played a tiny bit of Banjo Kazooie back in the days where you go to Toys R Us and they would display games to play for like an hour or so, and that was like really like my only exposure to Banjo. If my friend Stefan Skins ever join us in our discussions, he's also a big fan of Banjo. He's been wanting this character in Smash for like a very long time. I'm sure you kind of share that same sentiment, right, Kazuko?
Of course, him being owned by Microsoft was always an obstacle, but the president is very open. Like, he's not pro Xbox. He knows that Banjo was originally home to Nintendo and that he wouldn't mind negotiating with Sakurai if it means the character would ever be playable.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, in terms of games, been hearing quite a bit of the hype of Elden Ring. I might, like, when I get money in my account, I might actually try to snag a copy. Because I'm okay. Just to preference, I've never played a Souls game. I've seen people play Souls game. I've seen how challenging they can be. Never personally played, but I want to just go head first into that one. Like people have been saying, that game's been sort of worth it on worth the hype. I guess any hype. I mean, sorry, hype. Any thoughts on games like soul games like that? Games are like naturally harder for people, or whether that they're worth the challenge or whatever.
I've always been aware of the Souls game for a long time. In fact, I actually do plan on getting them on Steam recently. It's more that the games are so notoriously hard that journalists will often call any game that's hard, like say Crash or SMT, the Dark Souls of this, because that's just to show how mainstream the games are.
Gotcha. Uh, yeah. Let me see if I can. Okay, I was just sending like a quick message. All right. Is there? I don't know. Guess we can switch gears. I'm not sure how much a fan of anime Jacobs is, but I guess I haven't been watching a lot of anime like recently, as far as like the new stuff. But as far as basically what I've been watching is mostly recently. It's been um, Yoshihime, which is like the sequel to Inuyasha. If anyone's familiar with that, you know. And was watching some stuff that I was showcasing for my Discord server, which is like what I call like anime night that I have almost every Saturday. Things have been sort of slowed down last couple weeks, but I'm gonna bring that back this coming Saturday. I also have like quite a few favorites as well. But I'm gonna let like I guess my guests that are here speak about like their experience with anime. So I'm gonna start with Kaizuko. So Kaizuko, is there any like anime series you've been watching recently, and there's any like favorites of yours you want to throw out since we're bringing back the anime discussions and stuff?
Sure, there's a few anime that I would gladly recommend. Among one of them is my all-time favorites, One Piece, which stars a cast of relatable pirates that want to sail the Grand Line to find the legendary treasure of One Piece. I know many often find the anime too long, but it's actually pretty manageable if you put the time to it. You're even free to skip all the non-canon filler if you want to, because oftentimes Toei is known for adding extra material to just pad out scenes and flesh out each arc. But in some cases, it does work. Like the recent filler and arcs like Whole Cake Island or Wano have been improving, as in they actually feel like padding that actually suits the arc or would have been in a manga. So it's definitely an anime that I'm free to watch every week, if only because I want to see how they can handle some of my favorite chapters of the manga itself, which I still keep up with.
Hmm. Yeah, like I would say like my favorite anime of I wouldn't say of all time, but like my favorite anime that I've always come back to is like Code Geass Lelouch the Rebellion, which basically this anime follows protagonist named like Lelouch, like the Britannia, which basically he's an outcast prince that was you know pretty much kicked out of his monarchy rule. Um, from his father was like the emperor. Pretty much think of like an alternate version of like alternate history where America was not the superpower, but it is this nation, fictional nation called Britannia, kind of like Britons in a way. And so they become the massive superpower, and they basically more or less want to take over the world. And they more or less um, gone to the point where they've taken over, of course, since this anime, like Japan. And basically, the Japan is reduced to like they've been stripped of their roots and everything, and they're basically the Japanese people in that show is referred to as 11s. So basically, Lelouch gains this power from a witch character. Her name is C2, and they get into a contract, and he uses his ability called Gios, which basically it's like a hypnosis sort of Jedi mind trick thing where he looks in you in the eye and he would basically command you to do things. And it's honestly like a fantastic show because it involves like mechs and politics and stuff, but it's like very really cool. Like think like Death Note, but like much more supernatural and kind of like politics involved, but like not in a way that you think, but like it makes it like really good. I don't know, Kazu. Any thoughts on Code Geass before I move to Jacob real quick?
For me, Code Geass is definitely one of the real anime classics for me. I've been first exposed to it since it first aired on Adult Swim, and I can never get tired of watching it. Like, you really understand the struggle between both sides, the Britannians and the Japanese, and how Zero and Suzaku have this real relationship with one another over how they handle the situations on both sides, whether they know their true identities or not. And how it ends, it will forever stick with me to this day.
Yeah, like granted, like the third movie that we'll get to kind of covers like an alternate path to the original ending, which I won't say in case spoilers for the audience. But I definitely recommend Code Geass. Definitely watch that. Jacob is. I know like anime's not really like your thing, but have you watched anime before? Like anything that pops your mind in terms of like Japanese animation or anything?
I've watched there's like a some anime show a long time ago called High School of the Dead. I think
Oh
that's the
yeah,
name.
I've definitely seen that. It's kind of a shame that the author behind that one is like dead. Like rest in peace to that guy, right, Kaisuko? You heard of High School of the Dead, surely, right?
Uh huh.
Wait, High School of the Dead is like, was it canceled?
Well, the thing is, I think the manga was going on, and then the author suddenly died of something, or
Oh,
I believe that was like the headline when I read one time when I saw the news article and from Anime News Network. But yeah, like that show was like pretty interesting take on like dealing with like zombies. Like it's kind of a shame that we're not gonna get like a continuation on that, or if we do, it's probably not gonna be the same since the author's not alive.
well, maybe someone else did.
It kind of reminds me of if you guys obviously heard of like have you guys heard of like Berserk
No.
or anything like
Yes,
Well,
I
that?
I
heard of
might
it.
have heard the name.
Yeah, Berserk. Well, because I brought it up. The reason why I brought it up is because the author of that, you know, um, let's see, oh yeah, Kentaro Mura. Yeah, yeah, I just remember. Yeah, Kentaro Mura, like, pretty influential. Like, in fact, Berserk is like the reason for a lot of like, well, I would say not just anime, but like things that we enjoy. Like, there wouldn't be like Final Fantasy, Bleach, like characters that hold big ass swords. I've heard like you can basically attribute that to because of Berserk. Um, uh, I don't know. You want to throw in your 2 cents at Berserk if you've seen it, Kaisuko, or read manga or anything like that?
Yes, it's a shame that the original author passed away, in which it ended abruptly to the point that we'll never know if Guts properly confronted Griffith for that long way of revenge. But I will say this: I'm personally excited for the upcoming anime reboot, since the last one honestly was disappointing in terms of its animation. Like, I don't get me wrong, I don't really hate CG anime, but when it's done right. In the case of the last Berserk reboot, the animation was often so poor at times that it kind of ruins the tension or dark themes that they were going for.
All right. So I'm seeing like 2, 3 viewers in the chat. So does anybody in the chat have like a favorite anime or game that they like that they want to type in? It's okay if you don't, but very curious about that. But anyways, uh, yeah, Berserk was quite the masterpiece. Like it's, at least with the first season I've seen. I'm only seeing parts of like the second season where it got kind of like a sequel with like the 3D animation, but it is kind of a little bit to be desired from what I've seen so far. Not sure if we're gonna come back to that anytime soon, but yeah, Berserk is great. Um, so this is more or less like free discussion. So you guys want to throw questions at me, or bring topics that kind of talk about whatever's on your mind. Gaming, obviously, the only thing I would say is like as much as it is important to bring current events, definitely don't bring current events in this podcast because I want to just keep this politics. Even though politics is important, I just don't want that to be like the main focal point of my podcast unless it's like super important to talk about. That's all I'm gonna say about like that. terms of like free talk.
Uh, I don't know what to. Um, could have we talked about the new GTA game? Well, supposedly coming out.
You talk about like GTA 6 or something like that.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, they didn't mention the six. It's just like the next installment of it of the. You
Gotcha.
know, we don't even know if it's like
Yeah, we
GTA
got
six or
already
something.
got like what? Didn't we get like an anniversary with like the first three or something like that, or like the older one, the older
That
game,
was oh, I forgot the name of
like
it.
the collections or something of
Yeah,
all.
that was on the Switch and it was rushed,
Yeah,
but they did improve it with a few patches.
right.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, there. This is not about G. Well, I was gonna say something. It was not about GTA 6 or whatever or any other GTA game. I was gonna say there's gonna be like an update for Minecraft. It's like I guess sometime soon.
Hmm.
They already did the. They already like um gave us caves and cliffs.
Hmm.
Now we just need the warden. If they didn't update that yet,
Gotcha.
they might have already done it. I just didn't know about it. I'm not into this game, but is there like what new is there like any new Pokemon games coming out next year?
Well,
Well,
they
this year,
recently
actually,
they recently announced Pokemon. What was it?
Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet. Like,
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too excited about it, just based on the names and like starters. Actually, the green cat kind of interests me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but like besides from that, I I honestly think the Pokemon Company should hold off on releasing a Pokemon game. But if they want to do it, it's, I just haven't been optimistic about a Pokemon game since after I played Pokemon X or Y and stuff, and from what I've seen of Pokemon Sword and Shield, it wasn't so great in my opinion. Um, Guys, you want to add more to that discussion?
There was also no national Pokemon Dex, as in certain Pokemon cannot be transferred even if you had them in home. Sure, there were eventually later, but it was paid DLC, which shouldn't really be an idea.
Yeah, like it's early to judge it because we just got like a teaser of what it is, but I'm just we'll just have to see where it goes. That's the best I can say. I may get it for the Switch because it's been really a really long time since I actually owned and played a Pokemon game. The last game I played was like Omega Ruby, which is like a remake of Ruby and Sapphire, and so I heard like the Diamond Pearl remakes were less than desired, but Arceus is pretty good. Do you have Arceus, Kaisuko, or
I
not?
don't have it yet, but I do plan on getting it soon. I heard good things, so I'm saying that they should take some ideas from it. Or maybe it was a beta for the new generation after all. Because from the announcement, they did say it was more open world. So it won't be linear and straightforward. But at the same time, I would rather see how it works out.
Right.
there is something I do want to talk about though. This um I just saw it on Facebook. There's like some dating stuff on there.
Dating,
Yeah.
dating sims or something, or
No. I mean, like, there's like this shortcut on Facebook, and it's like something about dating.
oh,
I don't know what's that about. It's
It's actually a dating app, and as somebody that uses it, it definitely does work. It's more about finding the right people that match you.
yeah. I
yeah. I just
think
don't.
it's
I don't
like
trust websites
it's
like
like
that though.
face.
Like,
I
even
think
that.
it's from my understanding, it's like the Facebook equivalent of Tinder, but I've heard more success stories on Tinder. I never heard success stories of like Facebook dating thingy. Like personally, I have a long distance girlfriend, so I'm obviously not going to be you know touching that thing. But for all those single fellas out there, I guess if it works, I guess maybe it works for somebody. I guess I
Well,
don't know.
I'm single, but I never use that type of stuff. I'm just don't know why it's a thing.
Yeah.
Money. That's all you need to know, because Facebook do want to branch out more with the metaverse. So dating was the next step.
Well, I mean, I've dated someone before and online for only 1 or 2 weeks. It was like a long time ago, but it wasn't through a dating website. It was just through like just a regular YouTube.
Was it Google Plus before it shut down?
No, it was on YouTube, and uh,
Oh.
and it was also on Google Hangouts.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I personally never use stuff like Tinder or anything like that. I've seen people do videos on those, but like, I don't know. There might be success stories on those apps, but I don't like. I personally don't buy it, sort of thing. I personally don't, at least from my own experience. I can't speak for everybody, of course, uh, but hey, whatever makes money, I guess.
Or just like steal money from Elon Musk, I guess. So,
Yeah, or make money on NFTs or something or whatever. Just kidding. Don't do it.
well, NFTs, I don't like that.
Speaking of which, Gaben banned them from Steam.
Yeah, Gabe is totally like Gabe Newell. Like he obviously doesn't support it, and he sees like the major problem between like NFTs and other things. Like it's like an article I shared. Um, Let me find it real quick.
Well, some people
Oh yeah,
say were
oh yeah, oh
saying,
yeah, oh yeah. Gabe was basically against metaverse and NFTs. So
uh,
I guess that this will bring on like another talk. What do you guys think of like the idea of like this quote unquote idea of the metaverse? What do you guys think of that?
um, well, I was thinking about it a while back. I mean, I was at first I was thinking that it could just be like digital money fully, like to the fullest, and paper money will just be wasted now. It's just like a new era of paying stuff and buying
Yeah.
and earning money. That's what I was thinking. I mean, we've already been doing that, but I'm talking about like a future where there's like no paper money, none, and I think that's what the metaverse was doing.
Well, my understanding of the metaverse is like I'm using like an anime as an analogy. Like they want to be like real life, like our world's version of Sword Art Online, like SAO, like a MMO, like a VR chat, except it's like like I had my friends, a mutual friend said this best. It's basically he wants to make it like VR chat, but it's like on steroids. What do you think of that
Hmm.
analogy?
Oh
That's
man.
very accurate. It's pretty much a crazy way of making money, but also being more immersive and revolutionary.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like literally any company that you're just enamored to, like Twitter, Facebook, even Discord. Like my buddy of mine shared like an article on like supposedly Discord's gonna um, censor some stuff about self harm and stuff. Basically, you know how extreme like leftist ideals sort of like take over like Facebook and stuff like. Supposedly that's gonna be that might allegedly be creeping on Discord. Which of course, I want to reiterate, I'm not a political like podcast, so I don't really talk about that. But I'm just saying, like pushing agendas are gonna be a thing on all these platforms. What do you guys think of that? Like, put the idea of pushing agendas on media's that we enjoy and stuff, and things that we use, like social
You,
media.
when you say pushing agendas, you mean like just trying to get people to do stuff on their own or on someone else's schedule or something?
I guess it's more like you're basically a person would say you're wrong about this and this ideology, and you should listen to me because I'm always right, sort of thing. Would that be accurate, Kaizuko?
Yeah.
Well, what's your take?
Okay, now that's stupid. It's stupid. No one's alright. No one's right.
Yep.
You'll be right, but you can't always be right.
That's exactly the type of mentality you get on Twitter, like the extreme people on Twitter and even Facebook, I guess. And it's like, oh yeah, that's another thing. Semi recently, like on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel post, I brought up like a hypothetical question, like kind of like a harmless discussion, and then this person was like, her, oh Persona fans are pedophiles.
Hmm.
Like
Well,
what? Like I did nothing to this person, and he just threw that generalization out of nowhere. Like what the fuck? Like to get a reaction on me, of course. But
it's like someone saying that every Fortnite players are squeakers.
like,
God forbid adults play a game that's targeted towards adults.
I mean, it's rated M for mature. It's like okay, I'll give you this. It's like if the person's like fantasizing about Lavenza, like a character that honestly looks like a freaking lolly, then yes, maybe I would say that. But it's like I don't know, man. You can't just throw that word around like willy nilly. Like it's really like a hard reach. You know what I'm saying? That's just uh, I don't know. That's the thing. That's why I despise Facebook groups, because it's like you get the most trashiest people that join those subgroups, and it's like you post anything like remotely a thing that they may not like, or even something simple, they find something they would say some the most like ridiculous thing, and it's usually like people that act like all edgy or like you know they just don't have a care in the world sort of attitude. They're safe behind a keyboard, but I bet if you confront these people in real life, they wouldn't dare say that to your face. Like it's just hilarious having that sort of interaction from time to time on the internet. Which I which in case I do get some kind of confrontation, like I usually just resort to blocking them because that sort of interaction is just never really healthy anyway to a person. I don't know. What do you guys make of like toxic behaviors on different platforms and stuff like that?
Toxic behaviors.
Like what I just described, pretty more or less.
Um. Well, I mean, toxic behaviors in general on other platforms. Well, I don't know how to say this. It's like I can't. really have I don't know much. I shouldn't have a say in this for now because like I've been toxic before on other platforms, so I can't deny that.
Ah, I mean, it's
But that was
true. Like
that
I
was
like
that
even
was
like
back that was back in somewhere in 2016 or 17,
right.
probably 18.
Like even intentionally, unintentionally, I think we were all toxic at one point. Like I'll admit, like there's came a point in time where sometimes I was like a gatekeeper on certain things that I like, and I was like ha ha ha, like stuff like that. But I'm never, I ne- like I have a like a limit. I don't go so far. Like some people just either take it far or like they just say the most mean spirited thing. It's like for no reason other than to provoke you, sort of thing,
Oh yeah.
or get a
Oh
reaction.
oh and oh yeah, and I remembered some of the toxic stuff I've said. It was like some of the stuff I've said that was toxic was on Twitter. How ironic,
Hmm.
or how yeah, how accurate is that? Like shit.
Right. Hmm.
Now I just don't use Twitter that much. I look on it. I look what's going on there, but
I
I don't use it.
have like two Twitter accounts, one account for my personal account, one for my roleplay account, and I lurk 90% of the time. I don't really make posts on Twitter. I just retweet. I kind of treat it like Tumblr back in the day. I like retweet retweet like posts from people that I follow and like people I respect and stuff like that. But I don't really. I try to avoid partaking in any discussion because usually you find the most extreme people, especially on Twitter. That's very notorious over there. And oh boy, Twitter within itself is a mess. But I don't want to get into it that here.
I was gonna say something earlier about money.
Go for it.
What was it? Oh yeah. Since like you can earn like almost everything's like a job. It's like since almost everything's like a job, like YouTube or whatever. I guess you can just join. I guess in the near future you can join what some game servers and you can earn 15 or $20 an hour for playing each hour.
Interesting. Yeah, like even like gigs like Fiverr and stuff. There's like a gig for like if you look harder, there's a gig for virtually anything. You can do something kind of without really thinking and earn some quick bucks out of that through platforms like Fiverr and other sites like it and stuff like that.
Well, I don't know much about Fibers. What's that? It's
Pretty much, it's like a platform. Let me just show you real quick.
is it like PayPal or something?
No, it's not really PayPal. It's like let me just screen share this real quick. Um, it's more like a site where you can hire people to like do all sorts of things. Like, for example, you can hire someone to voice act videos on your YouTube videos. You can hire people to do jobs. It's like a gig website. So it's like there's even like a gig for being a friend. Let me look that up. Being a friend. Um, you can literally pay someone like it's right here, like $10 to talk to somebody, or to will make your ideas into immortal beings. Like if there's like a gig that you can think of, this is basically the website to do that. I even have my own services where it's like I don't expect it. It's like making people Discord servers and then voicing, joke personify. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's a website where you can make money you doing like odd gigs, more or less. It's what Fiverr is. Any thoughts on that, Kaizuko? I guess.
As long as you find your niche, and if you do get enough attention, these gigs can actually be beneficial.
Hmm. Certainly. Um. So we got Nick that's in the chat. I just see like anybody in the chat have any questions for us, like in general?
Wait, someone's in the chat.
Or not in the chat, but like oh, I can basically I've been checking like Twitch toggle away. I've been seeing like who joins in, and
Oh,
there's one user I recognize among the bunch. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll throw this random question before I go forward on because it's getting to the hour mark where I want to reach anyways. But is there any um did you guys like some of the people that like joined my Discord server recently? Like there was one Yuri Low player that joined, and also one of my longtime friends, Rex. You met him. Well, if he's watching like this podcast, like he and I go way back, like I mentioned, and before this person like transition, I actually gave him like a Vincent Van type figure because I happened to have it laying around, and that was like my at the time like Valentine's gift to them when you know he was a girl, like before he transitioned, and it was a nice touch. Like that's the sort of memory I never forget. Sort of thing. Like, so, do you guys like Rex? Like, based on what you interacted, like, shout out to Rex, by the way, if you're watching. Quick shout out to him.
oh, I gotta get to know him. I've seen him join the server.
Yeah,
I think it was in the mod chat. Was
yeah,
it in the mod chat?
definitely like my longtime friends, and he's quite pretty cool. Like he's especially getting along with Edna because they've been talking about Final Fantasy 14, and oh yeah, he's
Huh?
quite a big fan of Final Fantasy too. When I got to know him, but well, obviously like before like he transitioned and everything and stuff like that. But like Rex is like a really cool guy. Like definitely like come to really enjoy his presence over the years. Like definitely like someone I hope that you guys enjoy as a mod and get along with and get to talk to with and stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
What about you, Kaizuko?
Rex seems pretty cool, like a ball of sunshine. I'll admit I wouldn't mind hanging out with him more often if that were possible.
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, I guess this is most like kind of normal-ish podcast episode, so I'm gonna leave closing thoughts. So I guess any final thoughts on the stuff we talked about, like the VTuber thing, the games that we talked about, anime, like any final thoughts on anything you want to share before I close off? It can be literally anything, not necessarily like the main topics, but like anything that you want to say.
The VTuber part. Since there's like a lot of people that are like trying to be a VTuber, there why not there be like an app for it?
Yeah,
Like,
well, there's agencies for it. That's about it. But there's like, I think there's an app to do to get the models or customize your own model, but I haven't really looked into it myself. But I think that's something somewhere down the line where even I want to do it because I've been looking up a video that talks about like the possibility of male VTubers, and they do exist. But
mm,
it's like I would have to see like the things and the costs it would to find a model of like my OC or something or like in life. I don't know. Guys, got thoughts on VTubers in general, and what we watched about in terms of like Rushia and stuff like that.
VTubers are entertaining, not going to lie. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of them, but I can understand why they have the followings they do as people.
Nice.
The thing is, though, do they put effort into their videos or do they only stream?
They put effort. Like one particular VTuber I follow that's like my favorite. Her name is Mari Calliope,
Oh,
and among others, like she sings, like she does a lot of cover songs and a lot of like um music stuff in general. So there are only VTubers that do music. There's VTubers that like specifically like sing songs. There's VTubers that they're what they appeal to them is like, yes, they stream, but like they basically it's like your closest thing to getting to interacting with a fictional character. That's like the whole appeal of VTubers. It's like even oh yeah, this is like a classic example. Even like characters like Sonic the Hedgehog, like the mascot of Sega, is a VTuber. I kid you not. In case you guys didn't know that before.
I knew
Like,
that
um,
one, and it actually works well since he's an English teacher.
yep. So yeah. Anyways, so I guess my final thoughts is like I definitely recommend Code Geass. I definitely feel bad for like the whole Rufia situation. So it's like it is what it is, but gotta just move forward. I'm sure she's gonna come back in some capacity, just like K-Son did with Coco. And yeah, that's it for this week's episode of Kiefcast. I'm signing off. We got on Dirty Demons, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. You guys want to do your final close off before I end this? Like any outros or something?
see ya, peeps.
Guys, go.
Later, dudes.
All right, that's it. And enjoy the playback. See you guys later. Until next time.